All right, welcome to the first ever episode of Couch of the Dead. We are a horror movie podcast. We're here to have some fun with you guys, and today we will be reviewing The Omen.
Hi, I'm Vanessa.
And I'm Matt.
We are two die-hard horror movie fans who want to share our love of spooky cinema with you.
So please, if you dare, join us on the Couch of the Dead.
Before we start, what is the creepy cocktail of the night?
So today we are drinking Hillbilly Hooch Strawberry Lemonade. So we're going to tell you how strong that is, and you'll know that about halfway into this episode.
It's good.
So, like I said, today we are going to be reviewing 1976's The Omen, directed by Richard Donner, starring Gregory Peck, Lee Remick, and David Werner. And this is a classic, and there's a reason that we picked this one as our first episode, because who just doesn't like this movie if you like horror movies?
It's definitely one of my favorite classics, for sure.
So what we'll do is we're going to do a brief synopsis of the movie. No spoilers. You can listen to this. We're going to give a quick rundown of the basic plot and what we liked, disliked, some of the themes of the movie, and then we'll get into spoilers, but we'll let you know before that because we don't want to spoil the movie for you. So basically, The Exorcist is...
Nope. The Omen. It's okay.
That's the second time I said that. The Omen is a classic horror movie that revolves around the Thorne family. It revolves around Robert and Catherine Thorne and their son Damien, and wackiness ensues. There's many mysterious deaths surrounding the family, and they have a suspicion that something may be wrong with their child. To me, the theme of this movie is, man, a lot of shit can go wrong when you start having kids.
Of course. No, for sure. I think what I like about this movie, without any spoilers, is definitely the way it was filmed. I think it gives it a clean view. I noticed as we were watching it today that the camera is always being positioned at a distance when it's convenient to be like on the lookout, but then it gets really close up when the things are happening within the family. So I really enjoyed that. The colors are really nice, even for a 1976 movie. When you compare it with other classics, this one definitely stands out.
Well, it definitely has what I call that 70s sheen to it. It's got that 70s kind of just look to it. If you didn't know when this movie was made and you watched it, you'd know it was made in the 70s. Yeah. And not a lot of special effects in this movie. The ones that are obviously practical, but like many movies from that era, it relied on good acting and good performances and good writing and a good script.
That's something that you gotta like about all movies, is the practical effect, because in today's world there's so much fakeness.
Well, CGI done
CGI,
wrong kind of sucks.
Yeah.
It can be entertaining in certain aspects, but I'm always a sucker for some good practical effects.
But it wasn't in a cheesy way, because you know how sometimes some movies that are older, they have that cheesiness practical effect. It wasn't like that at all. It actually, this movie, it's more on the subtle and kind of a slow burn, if you will. If you get easily bored with movies, you might get bored, but it's really, really good movie.
Well, the payoff is definitely worth the wait. But going back to the effects, it's a movie that doesn't have enough effects in it to rely on. It's not an effects movie. It's not based off that. It's not body horror. It's not, you know, it's supernatural, but not in a way where you see ghosts and stuff like that. It doesn't rely on that. So
Definitely has the creepy factor though. So if you like creepy,
the only thing I really didn't like about this movie, and I've seen it many times, is I'm not a huge fan of the score. The singing in Latin, the Dominus.
oh, I like that.
Pluribus. Like it's cool in some respects. I thought
Yeah.
it was a little overused.
I actually love that.
I'm also too a fan of a more subtle score. Some of my favorite movies, if we keep doing this, you'll know. I'm a fan of just very subtle setting and atmosphere instead of kind of telling me when something scary is going to happen. I've seen so many horror movies that you kind of know when a jump scare or something bad's going to happen just based on the score.
Or lack of.
Uh-huh.
Because that's also a thing. So I disagree with him. I really like that very creepy sounds like that, the Latin singing. What I didn't like was the more subtle scenes where it's more like a romantic kind of music in the background. I am not a fan of rom-coms or anything like that, so I gravitate more towards the violence, I guess.
Well,
and dramatic.
yeah, and there were some scenes that I think were made to establish that your two lead characters, Robert and Kathy Thorne, just had they have a very strong relationship, and that's kind of at the center of this movie is their bond. And I think one of the overall reaching themes in this movie is how far you're willing to go for your child, even though your child may be evil. You know?
Now you're getting into a little bit of spoilers there.
No, I said maybe.
Oh, okay.
I
mean, if you haven't seen this movie,
yeah, it's kind of hard to spoil this one. It's been out for, since before she was born anyway.
Yeah. And with the prequel, was it a prequel?
Yeah.
Yes. That came out maybe last year in 2024. I think more and more people were aware or became aware of the original. And there was also the Omen 2 and 3.
Yeah, we don't talk about those.
Well, I think what's his name did a great job.
This is a movie that I think the original is far superior to the sequels, and quite frankly, I didn't even really think the sequels needed to be made with the way this movie ended. It could have just been let off like that. So with that being said, I think we're going to get into spoilers here. And we're not going to sit there and we're not going to tell you this movie scene by scene, shot by shot, but we will spoil some stuff. So if you want to go see the movie, go see the movie. We watched it on Tubi. You can see it on Amazon. I believe it's on YouTube. It's all over the place. I still have it on VHS somewhere. So be ready for spoilers.
So the movie opens with Mr. Thorne, or Robert Thorne, and he's devastated. He's been, I guess, told that his wife just given birth, and the baby didn't make it. The baby is dead.
And Mrs. Thorne is not aware of this.
Yeah, I mean, this is the late 70s, 76, I guess.
Yeah, they didn't have the baby making delivery technology that they have today.
Yeah, and the dad was like, I don't know, he seemed like he was in the car driving to the hospital from God knows where. And
Well, he's spoiler alert, he's a politician, so he's a diplomat, so he's probably really busy.
Yeah, couldn't be there for the birth of his
diplomatic stuff.
First child.
And so he gets to the hospital, and he is informed that his son is indeed unalived.
Mm-hmm.
And
he's devastated because he knows how much this baby meant for his wife.
So conveniently, there was another baby born on the same night at the same time whose mother passed away during childbirth, supposedly. And for our YouTube viewers, you can see my air quotes, supposedly. And they convinced Mr. Thorne to switch the babies and give this strange baby to Mrs. Thorne, and they are going to raise it on their own.
Of course, Robert is not allowed to say anything to Kathy for obvious reasons. One thing I found interesting, and again, this is Hollywood, you know. He goes to see Kathy at the hospital bed, and she has full-on makeup. Her hair is so pretty. The bed and everything looks so pristine. I just thought that was funny.
Yeah, the little stuff you notice, right?
Yeah.
So we flash forward roughly about 5 years. There's some montages. It's a motherfucking montage where we see this family getting along, and it looks like the idyllic family. They're playing with Damien.
Oh, he got like some promotion, so he's gonna be the ambassador in England.
He's going to be the ambassador to the UK.
They got this humongous house,
and
money.
Yep, good stuff starting to happen to him. And worth noting, a little subtle piece in the beginning of this movie is that Mr. Thorne is going to meet up with his old college roommate.
Oh yeah.
And the guy just happens to be the president.
Right.
It's a very quick little thing, but it ends up basically being the key piece at the end of the movie.
And I really think it's setting up success in the future. And if you see the next movies, the sequels for The Omen, you know how important the setup for this success was.
So we go to one of the most famous scenes in horror movie history, which is the birthday party.
Oh my God.
So there's this huge birthday party. All of Damien's friends are there, photographers.
Can we just talk about how cute that boy is?
No, I think he's ugly.
I think they cast the perfect boy for this movie. Leave me a comment if you disagree with me. I think his
Damien Thorne hot or not?
No, not like that. Jesus, not hot, but like a cute but creepy. And we're gonna be talking about later more about creepy kids in movies. But I think they just really found the perfect little boy for this movie. But yeah, birthday party scene.
So everybody's having fun at this birthday party, and again, little nod to the 70s. There's almost no safety protocols, which is really cool because that's how we all grew up. And you got hot metal slides and little trains and carousels with no seat belts, and like, hey, go 70s and 80s. So
we survived.
everybody's having fun at this birthday party, and there is a nanny involved, which you are going to have with very affluent people. And the nanny kind of disappears at one point, and you hear her just yelling, Damien.
She got hypnotized or something by the dog. There was a dog that just came out of nowhere.
Dogs come in. There's a lot of dogs that are gatekeepers in this movie that are guarding things, and she is standing up on the ledge of a window, and the famous line of
"It's all for you."
And spoiler alert, she's got a noose around her neck, so she jumps off. Cracks her neck, goes flying in through the window, and she unalives herself for Damien, because that's what you do when you're Satan's nanny.
Yes, well, he's jumping the guns there. Let's not forget, this is a birthday party. There were easily about 50 kids, and no one, only Damien's mom grabs him and turns him around. All the other kids are like, and I didn't see no parent trying to shield their kids from this horrible scene.
Well, again, that's how we did it in the 70s. It's like, you saw something horrible, you just dealt with it.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, trauma, what's that? We didn't know what that was back then.
And that's why we drink.
we just called it a good time back then. Now it's trauma. So in all of this chaos, there's a photographer who's taking pictures of everybody, as you would in a very high-profile event like this, and this comes back to be a pretty big deal in the movie. So we go to the first time we meet our friend Father Brennan, and Father Brennan pulls aside Mr. Thorne, tells him he needs to talk to him, tells him he needs Jeebus in his life, and tells him to accept Jesus, and that it is the only way that he can defeat the evil. And
obviously, Robert is like...
Yeah, Mr. Thorne's like, WTF, bro. Like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
and
get lost.
Yeah, and he's like, this dude's just he's loony, and what's he talking about?
He really
doesn't
did
believe
come
him.
at him a little bit like a loony.
Well, he came at him hard. He could have just said what he wanted to say, but he started getting
like
hey,
all... can we sit down? Can we talk? Can we have a chat? How's it going? Now, let's also talk about this photographer who keeps stalking the family and the priest. Everywhere he turns, he was there.
Well, I think I don't know if he was necessarily stalking them, but if you look later in the movie, there's a picture on the front of the paper that was a picture, that this photographer took. So I think he's just like a freelance photographer.
Well, yeah.
And he's just trying to get pictures of everybody and everything. So he's taking, pictures of Father Brennan when he walks out of Mr. Thorne's office and out of the building, takes a picture of him. And when he's developing the picture later, again, spoiler alert, you just see a little line going up to his shoulder in the picture. Yeah. Right about here. I keep forgetting we're on YouTube. It's right about there. Yeah. Right about there.
So in the meantime, we switch, and a new nanny comes into the house. She's, looks like a normal nanny. However, very soon, both Robert and Kathy realized that neither of them hired her. And she just made it seem like, oh, yeah, no, it's the agency sent me. And
the agency saw the story of the other nanny jumping off the building, so they just automatically sent someone. She kind of comes out of nowhere.
Yeah. But she is not a good nanny. Well, she's a good nanny for Damien, but not really good in general.
So at this point, we start seeing that you get a sense that, okay, maybe there's something a little off with Damien, because after the birthday party, he's staring at the dog, and they kind of have a moment where they make eye contact. And
yeah, and suddenly the dog is in the house.
So and the dog is evil because he's got shifty eyes.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And so you kind of know, like, okay, this nanny just jumped off a building for this kid. He's looking at this weird Rottweiler, so you know something's going on with Damien right now.
Yeah.
And then you really start to get a sense that something's off with Damien, because is this the wedding where they go to the wedding?
Yeah, they're about to go to the church, but the nanny, she's standing up to the mom, Kathy, and she's like, "Oh, why don't you leave Damien with me?" And the mom's like, "No, he goes to church with us." And I mean, like, kind of like acted like this was the first time that they took him to church, but I don't think it was. That's a little bit of a plot hole that I saw.
Well, no, at this
point he's like 5.
They just could not be churchy people, because earlier Father Brennan's like, you need to accept Jesus, and Mr. Thorne's right. like get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
Like, what's your problem?
Yeah.
So I don't think they're particularly religious people. They don't ever come out and say it.
Yeah. But I liked the way that Kathy handled the nanny, because she basically put her foot down and said, no, like, have him ready in 15 minutes.
Yeah. So they get in the car and they're going to the church, and when they get close to the church, Damien just loses his shit.
Little by little, you can see him, like, he starts,
Mr. Thorne gets out of the car, and then Damien just attacks his mom.
Oh my God.
Now, this wouldn't have happened in the 90s or 2000s, because that little bastard would have been in a car seat.
Yeah.
But since it's the 70s, we got a 5-year-old kid sitting in the back with no car seat, and he just goes ham on his mom.
Yeah. Yeah. No. He really beat the crap out of poor Kathy. And she's terrified. At this point, she's like, what the hell?
So you start going, wow, okay, this kid's making eye contact with a demonic Rottweiler. Nanny jumped off a building and hung herself for him. Now he can't go into a church. So you're starting to think, like, okay, now you're starting to get all the signs. And
yeah, at that point, to me, I would feel like, okay, my kid is like allergic to church. Oh yeah, he's the devil. That's it. He's got to be the devil.
I didn't go to church much, and the holy water burned my skin, but I don't think that means much. I don't know. Mm. But so Father Brennan now at this point requests a meeting with Mr. Thorne, a little more of an extensive meeting. Kind of starts laying it out that you need to repent, and again, y'all need Jesus, because now he comes out and says that you need this to defeat the son of the devil.
Did you skip the part where the mom and Damien went to the safari?
Well, I don't remember if the safari was before or after that, but that's another thing too, where
no, because the rugby game was after the safari.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they go to a safari. Now again, 70s. Kid standing in the front seat. No seatbelt.
And they go through the safari in their own car, which obviously there's a reason why this is not. They don't do this anymore, especially through like the savannah area, and they have like the baboons. No.
Baboon.
The baboons. They all started charging at their car.
Did you see that girl's baboons?
God. No, seriously, it was a terrifying scene.
Well, in the very beginning, they walk up to the giraffes.
Yeah.
And the giraffes kind of like assess Damien, and they're like, "Oh hell no," and they run away. But when they get in their car and drive through with the baboons, there's the baboons just start again. They start
they're like
losing their
100
shit.
of them.
Yeah. There's a lot of baboons in this baboon enclosure, and so the baboons start just jumping all over the car and getting all pissed off because, well, again, something's off with Damien, and we go back to, Nanny jumping off a building, eye contact with the shifty-eyed dog, the church incident. Now we got the baboons. So it's all just adding up, like 2 + 2 + 2 equals 666.
Yeah, I think at this point, Kathy starts to suspect there is something like seriously wrong with this kid.
Yeah, and it gets to the point where the reason they show that this is such an idyllic family in the beginning is because now there's a point where Damien's just rolling like billiard balls across a pool table, and she's just like, I had enough of this shit. Get this kid out of here. And the dad's like, he ain't doing anything. He's just being a kid, which he is. But mom's like, oh no, hell no.
Yeah.
There's something wrong. Like, I'm just losing my connection, and you see that throughout the movie where she starts losing that connection that she had with him very gradually.
I mean, wouldn't you? I think I would be terrified of this kid if it was.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, some of that stuff you could just chalk up to coincidence, but
sure,
like, it's not like, wow, my kid's like really making a lot of noise today and he's 5. That can't be my kid.
All right, so now we are at the rugby game. Robert is with his friend. They did whatever. Watched the game, and then he gets the encounter with the priest again, who is at this point
Father Brennan.
Yeah, at this point the father is kind of like losing it a little bit.
Yeah, mom is not feeling Damien right now, and so yeah, Father Brennan is like, I just need 5 minutes with you in the park.
Yeah,
let's meet up in the park and let's talk about your messed up kid, and. So the conversation ensues again that he wants him to go see somebody about his son.
In Megiddo.
Yeah. He needs to talk to this guy because he'll tell Mr. Thorne what's going on. And again,
he also spoils it for him and tells him that his wife is pregnant when he didn't even know.
Yeah, he finds out a little later, very quickly after that his wife's pregat, and so he's starting to go, you know what, this guy's a little cray cray, and he's coming up to me telling me my kid's evil, but he's telling me stuff that, like, there's no reason he should know. And so.
And the photographer is there again.
The photographer's taking more pictures.
He's a stalker.
And after their meeting in the park, Mr. Thorne goes on his way, and Father Brennan is walking through the park, and we get the obligatory wind picking up and leaves kicking across. And it's actually a really cool scene. Yeah. It's really atmospheric.
I think it was very well done.
He knows something's going on, so he's trying to get out.
He's running for his life.
Lightning is lightning's coming down and raining down on people.
He hit a branch, and the tree branch fell really close to him. So he knows that it is coming for him.
He jumps the fence. And something a little aside, there's a lot of fence jumping in this movie.
Yeah, I know.
And I'm glad, because I have something about every time somebody jumps a fence in a movie that's got a pointy thing on the top, and I'm like, that's going to hit him right in the nuts. And they always jump over the fence where there's not a pointy thing. So that is really well. Whoever Richard Donner, who directed this movie, kudos to you, buddy, for respecting, us men like that. But he jumps over the fence and is trying to get into the church.
Yes.
And a bolt of lightning hits a big pointy thing on the top of the church.
Yeah, like what was that? A
Well,
big spear up in the top of
yeah.
the church.
And
thing.
so this thing comes down, and he stands there screaming for about 5 minutes before the thing hits him.
Literally,
And
he had a chance to run away.
That's the only thing. Like, I've probably seen this movie 15 times, and every time I'm like, dude, just step to the side. Like, you'll be fine.
Maybe it was made for the drama, but he literally had enough time to move.
Yeah, it's like a pointy thing that's got to hit you just right, and well, it hits him just right.
It did.
And it goes through his shoulder and impales him standing up on the grounds of the church.
Just like the photographer had seen in the pictures.
Yep, and he's gone. So our great photographer friend, Keith Jennings, his name is, he's developing some of these photographs that he takes of people and starts to notice that the nanny from the birthday party has a little dark line
like
right across her neck. And that he's taken several pictures of Father Brennan. And each picture that got closer to Father Brennan's demise, the line coming right about there got more pronounced, darker, and closer to his shoulder. So he gets a hold of Mr. Thorne and wants to basically start telling him this, that he's seeing all this stuff in these photographs, and there could be a problem.
At some point, though, Robert is back at the house with Kathy, and Kathy's telling him that she's pregnant, and she actually doesn't want the baby. And this is a big deal because when this movie came out,
pre-gat sex, her top of a baby's head.
Yes.
Okay.
Back when this movie came out in the
1976.
Abortion was really a big deal.
Abortion.
Yeah. And so she's telling him, I want an abortion. Obviously, she's traumatized by Damien. I mean, I would too. And
yeah,
she doesn't want
she made it very clear that she doesn't want to have another kid. And he's like, okay, cool, like, whatevs. And she's like, okay, so you'll agree to an abortion. And he's like, oh, shit, like, that, you kind of tricked me with that one.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so she wants an abortion.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, she also wants him to talk to her doctor. And her doctor is trying to convince him that, maybe this is the right thing for Kathy, the abortion thing. But this is around the time where Robert is out again. Kathy is in the house, and this is another one of my favorite scenes because she is, for some reason, watering the plants, even though they have a maid and a nanny.
So if you know Mitch Hedberg, she's watering her hard-to-reach plants. Because why would they make plants hard to reach?
Yeah. And, of course, she's on this, like, balcony, second floor balcony inside of the house.
And she's standing on a rickety table.
Yeah. Overseeing, like, over the balcony.
Like, totally not OSHA approved.
No. And Damien is just, like, riding around in his tricycle inside of the house. And what happens? He drives the tricycle right up to her.
Well, he's riding the tricycle in his room with the nanny. And again, just like with the shifty eyes, you can tell that the nanny is evil because she's got shifty eyes too. So she's kind of like looking at Damien riding this tricycle around in the bedroom, and then she opens the door and is like, "Go get her."
Mm-hmm. And he does. He goes and gets her. And the worst part is she kind of topples over the railing. She's holding on for dear life. Nanny is nowhere to be seen. And Damien is just looking at her through the banister thing. And
yeah, she's pleading with him like to help her. And he's just looking at her.
Yeah. And then that's another fall that she takes that kind of looks like maybe she fell 3, 4, 5 floors, but it was really only.
Well, it was 2 because she was on the second floor, but it's still a hard floor, and she lands right on her uterus. So you know that at that point she
She got the
probably
abortion
lost the
she
baby.
wanted.
So she got an unintentional abortion.
So, yeah. By then, you know that she's just terrified of this kid. She doesn't want anything to do with him. And now we'll go back to Robert. He is with the photographer at this time.
Yeah, well, he finds out that she had the fall. He goes to the hospital, and then they find out that she lost the baby. So
Womp womp.
at this point, he was determined to keep the baby because it was foretold that the pregnancy would be terminated. So you get the sense that he wasn't going to agree to the abortion.
No.
And well, it really didn't matter because, well, you know, Satan's gonna Satan. And so when she falls again, she obviously loses the baby. So more and more is starting to come to light about Damien and the events that are happening, and Mr. Thorne teams up with the photographer.
Yeah,
Mr.
this is like a big scene because this is when the photographer kind of opens up the whole Pandora's box, so to speak. He explains everything that's happening. He goes into the dead priest's house, and they see a room full of
well, the whole house is covered with pages from the Bible, from head to toe.
Yeah, and then he had a bunch of newspaper article clips from 5 years ago when the baby was born, when Damien was born, and this whole, like, it was the whole thing. It was like, this is up, this is it, this is the whole thing, and basically saying that the baby Damien is probably the Antichrist.
They're starting to put stuff together that was your son born on June 6th.
At 6 a.m.
At 6 a.m. And so we get our 666 reference, and they explain that.
The priest had it.
That's the anti, and the priest that got impaled, Father Brennan, had a birthmark that was 666 on his inner thigh. And going back to that real quick, something I noticed in this movie, when Mr. Thorne saw that Father Brennan was impaled, he found out because it was on the front page of the news.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why the hell would they put a picture of a corpse on the front page of the paper?
Yeah.
Like, even in the 70s, they didn't do that stuff.
No.
Like, we didn't wear seatbelts, and we didn't wear helmets, but they didn't put pictures of dead people on the front of the newspaper.
And the other thing was, like, that was the way he found out. Really? I thought that the news in the newspaper was way too quick. I don't know.
Well, yeah, it was. Well, I mean, I guess it's a pretty big deal, like priest impaled while standing up on the front lawn of the church.
Yeah, sure.
But I just thought that was kind of funny.
Yeah.
But so
anyway, now that the photographer and then Robert confides in the photographer that, hey, actually that's not my son.
Yeah, the secret's out now.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know whose son I'm raising. My son died at birth.
So at this point, they are finally taking heed, and Robert says, okay, the priest, Father Brennan, told me to go to this place and talk to this person. So finally, he's ready to confront this and actually go. And so they go together and they do a little journey.
They decide to go to the hospital that Damien was born at.
Oh, that's right. But then it had burned down 5 years ago, which is the same age.
Yeah,
as Damien.
which was probably right after Damien's birth.
Right.
And they can't find any records because the fire started in the Hall of Records.
Yeah, and the priest that gave them the baby was in that fire when it happened, and then they told them, oh, okay, well, he's at this monastery
Yeah, they're
in-
like, were there any survivors
Well, yeah.
to this fire? Because it started in the Hall of Records and went up to the third floor, which was the maternity ward. So basically, now you're getting the sense that after Damien was born, any record of him being born
How convenient.
was destroyed in this fire.
Yeah.
And so they go to a monastery
Yeah.
to see the priest who
Yeah.
had survived that fire.
He's all messed up.
Yeah, well, he got burnt.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so he can't really speak. He hasn't spoken since he got to the monastery. They're taking care of him. They told him that he had rejected his religion. And we visit Mr. Priest at the monastery, and he hasn't spoken since he's been there. He really can't use his right side. He can write some stuff on a piece of slate. And Mr. Thorne confronts this priest and says that, you confess to them, now confess to me. What happened to my son? Where's my son? What's going on here? Like, what the fuck?
Okay.
So he writes the word, I think it's Charvete. That's how they pronounce it. And it's an old cemetery up in the hills, about 50 kilometers north of Rome. Don't ask me why I remember that, but I do. And so
Is this where they bury?
They go to the graveyard to look for his son.
They bury the baboons?
No, the baboons they're good now because Damien's not messing them up.
Okay. So they go to the cemetery. Long story short, they found the graves. I don't know how, because it was like really creepy place.
Well, they were looking around, and that was one of the things I thought was how do they just randomly go upon these graves? But they looked at the dates.
Sure, because if you're gonna cover a murder, you're gonna put the dates that.
Well, yeah, that is kind of a plot hole. Like, if you want to bury people in this cemetery up in the mountains so that they're never found, you'd think they just would have thrown them in an unmarked grave somewhere, or just buried them in the woods somewhere. But nope, they give them grave markers.
Yep, and at this point is when suddenly Robert has this kind of extreme strength and breaks through the coffin. Not a coffin. It was more
it's a concrete lid on top of I don't know what they're called, a vault.
Sure.
And they slide it off. And
what did they see?
Well, so earlier, Father Brennan tells Mr. Thorne that the mother of his child is a jackal. Bigger, like it almost looked like a horse.
But I think it was supposed to be.
It was probably supposed to be a jackal.
Yeah.
But it was an animal skeleton. It wasn't a human mom.
Mm-hmm. I can tell it was an animal.
So now at this point, you start seeing some like POV footage from what are obviously evil dogs because they have shifty eyes.
Yes.
That's how you can tell they're evil.
3 or 4. But then there was another grave thingy, and Robert opens it, and sure enough, it was the skeleton of a baby with the skull bashed in.
Bashed in.
Yeah.
And
although I thought the skeleton looked a little too big.
And in typical Gregory Peck fashion, he goes, "You murdered it. Murderer."
He did say
murderer. I love Gregory Peck. But
yes.
So they start putting 2 and 2 together to get chicken and realize that, yes, he knew it wasn't his son, but he wanted to look in the other grave because he's like, if there's nothing in there, but maybe my son's alive somewhere.
And he didn't know that it was murdered. Like he thought it died in childbirth. He didn't know it was
we might want to say murdiddly urdered.
Mm-hmm. So
is that going to mess the YouTube algorithm? I don't know.
No.
But that's the way Ned Flanders says it, so that's the way I'm saying it.
So
murdiddly urdered.
To continue telling the story a little shorter, they try to, it's time to flee because the dogs are getting, vicious, and they attack They attack the photographer and
and
Rob,
and they jump yet another
they
fence,
jump
but this
another
time
fence.
he catches his arm on it.
He
Mr.
did.
Thorne does. At least he doesn't get his taint on it.
Yeah, no.
And so they make their escape from the cemetery, and now they realize, okay, something needs to be done. They are they're going to go look into this further. In the meantime, Catherine, Kathy, I call her Catherine. That's what she told me to call her. She is in the hospital from the fall. She lost the baby. She has a broken arm.
Yes.
And now Mr. Thorne calls her and says, you got to get out of there. You got to come to Rome. And she's like, why? And he's like, because I told you to. That should be enough.
Yes, woman.
And he wants to get her out of there. So he tells her to get ready. And instead of just like putting a hoodie on and just getting out of there,
I don't know what she was doing.
she starts putting on some white veil looking thing, and she can't get it over her cast because her whole arm's in a cast. And
I would have just left.
Yeah.
But the nanny shows up.
Yeah, she turns around and there's evil nanny, and you can tell that she's evil because there's a close up of her eyes and they're pretty shifty.
Oh yeah, they are pretty close.
Yeah.
And then, like, why is she there? And where is Damien? So, well, next thing we know, Kathy is being thrown out of the, I don't know, 3rd or 4th floor window of the hospital.
Yeah. And this is actually a pretty cool scene because she gets yeeted out that window. And she goes flying down there screaming.
That was a good scene.
And goes headfirst through the top of an ambulance.
Oh, yeah.
And it's probably the goriest scene, because this isn't a gory movie, but it's the goriest. It's probably the most horror scene to me, because you see her laying there like she goes
I got a better one.
She goes through the roof of the ambulance, and there's blood coming out of her mouth and her eyes. So it was a pretty
she dead?
Pretty intense scene.
Did she die?
She was dead because she didn't blink for a while.
She was dead.
So Mrs. Thorne is now out of the picture.
Oh my God, he is devastated.
One of our lead characters, one of our, I would say, co-protagonists, because there's a couple protagonists in this movie. Sure. She's out of the picture now. Yeah, and he's dead. He gets the news and he's just devastated.
Oh
He
God.
says Kathy's dead, and he goes, now I want Damien dead. So he's kind of like, okay, this
is it. Yeah.
This kid's done.
Mm-hmm. So then him and the photographer, they go and they're trying to find this dude in Megiddo, which they learned that Megiddo is another word for Armageddon.
His name is Bugenhagen.
Oh, Bugenhagen. That's right. So they go and they find him, and we're not going to bore you with the details, but he gives them a set of knives or daggers, rather. Daggers. And he tells him he has to kill Damien. And he tells him that Robert, he has raised this kid for 5 years. So he says, how do I know for sure? He says, look for the mark of the beast.
The birthmark.
Yes.
And he says, which is kind of a weird line, because I always thought it was weird, because he says, I bathed him. I know every inch of him. And
I mean, it's true.
He's like, well, then, dumbass, it's under his hair. like look there, idiot.
I don't know.
So
I would have looked somewhere else.
Yeah. Well, if he's bathed him, he's seen there.
Okay.
So he's told that he has this whole set of daggers, and the first dagger is going to extinguish his physical body.
Mm-hmm.
And then the subsequent daggers moving outwards are going to extinguish his spiritual body. So there's an actual way that this needs to be done.
And it has to be done at an altar. His blood has to be spilled
in a church.
In a church on the altar. So these are very specific ways to kill a child, a 5-year-old nonetheless.
Well, if you could just kill the Antichrist easily, then he probably wouldn't be the Antichrist.
Correct.
You probably got specific rules.
Here comes yet another one of my favorite parts. They leave, the photographer and him are talking, and the photographer is trying to figure out like, what are you gonna do? And Robert is like, I'm not going to kill Damien. Like he's a child, right?
Well, and this is one of the themes of the movie is what you'd be willing to go through for your child. Even though it wasn't his child, it was technically adopted, you would think, but he raised it like it was his biological son.
Absolutely.
So on one hand, he's like, this kid's got to die because he's killing everybody I love and everything that's been prophesized has been coming true.
Mm-hmm.
Yet he's like, this dude wants me to kill a kid.
Yeah.
And I can't.
Like he's a politician. He's a
he
very
wants
important guy.
Yeah, he wants me to kill a child. A child.
Mm-hmm.
So
at this point, then he throws the daggers, the bundle of daggers. He throws them away, right? And the photographer, he's like, "No, what are you doing? Like, I will do that. Like, I will kill him." So he goes after the daggers, and here's another one of my favorite parts, and which is why I'm saying that Kathy's death was not one of the most gory ones. The photographer is just like bending over and picking up all these daggers, and here comes in a fashion
it's a flatbed truck.
Well, it's Final Destination kind of situation here,
that's
right?
A good point.
The truck, there was a truck, and someone just kind of left, and the e-brake gets unhooked or whatever, and then it goes flying down towards a photographer. That a sheet of glass falls or slips right out of the truck and decapitates the photographer. The head.
It's like a good basketball shot. It's got a lot of backspin on it.
It was awesome.
So yeah, the piece of glass slides off the flatbed truck,
and it just like
decapitates him. And this is
the best.
It wasn't the greatest practical effect because you
it
could
was
obviously
awesome.
tell it was a super fake head
Oh
before
my
the
God. It was
glass.
so great. It was such a clean cut.
But the effect was great, and
you didn't see it coming. Like if this is the first time you see the movie, you don't see it coming.
It goes back to the reason that the photographer wanted to get involved because he saw all the other photographs with all the other people that died with the mark through the nanny's neck, she hung herself.
Yep.
The spear coming through Father Brennan's. He saw a picture of himself in a mirror with something across there, so he thought, oh man, I'm going to be part of this. So he wanted to try and remedy it, and he was just a little bit too late because and it didn't just cut off his head, it cut off his head and then it went slow-mo and his head just went
roll over the place
like that.
It was awesome.
and it was like a rewind and it go back and a rewind and it go back. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was.
It wasn't gory because there was like ironic.
Okay,
there was no blood.
It wasn't a whole lot of blood spilling and splashing. No.
Yeah, dude got decapitated and there was no blood.
No blood. So then we get to the point that Robert now is like, okay, fuck it, we gotta do this. He goes and grabs the daggers and then he goes.
So he gets back to the house, and the next thing on his list is to check Damien for the 666 birthmark.
Oh yeah.
And he gets into the house and tricks the dog with shifty eyes into running in and checking out something in the basement. He grabs the scissors. He goes into the bedroom.
Oh, that's right. Yes, I'm sorry.
And he's looking forlorningly at the bed, if that's a word, forlorningly. Because it's like, man, that's where me and the missus used to hang out. And she's done. So he goes into her little thing of drawers and pulls out his scissors, goes into Damien's room and starts cutting his hair. And the first thing I said to Vanessa when we started watching this was, man, that kid don't wake up, like he's yanking on his head. And
they'll only wake up when you're sleeping.
Yeah, so he's cutting Damien's hair and he finds the 666 birthmark, realizes, okay, this is what's got to be done. And then here comes Psycho Nanny, right out of nowhere. And she attacks him. And
they go into this whole, fight
and she's a biter. Nanny is a biter.
Yeah, she's a dirty fighter.
Yeah, she's guarding the Antichrist, so she gotta do what she gotta do. And so she is going at it with him, and he kicks her in the head and kind of knocks her out temporarily.
Mm-hmm.
He grabs Damien, and Damien is struggling at this point, and they roll down the steps, and Damien's knocked unconscious.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she did go kind of banshee on him.
Yeah. Well, then she comes back when he's
yeah.
downstairs. He's getting ready to go out the door, and good old Nanny's back.
Right.
And she starts biting him again.
Right.
And he grabs a kitchen utensil off out of there and stabs her in the neck.
Stabs her.
So
right in the neck.
so
someone else that died right like around the neck area, which is kind of odd because
a lot of neck trauma in this movie.
Yeah, one was hanged, one that was decapitated, one was pierced right through the neck. So there's a lot of neck deaths in this movie.
So
okay, so now that she's dead, he goes into the car, he takes the kid into the church. But at this point now there are cops.
Well, they were notified.
Not cops,
they were notified
MPs.
that there was an incident. At the ambassadors.
And of course, he's a politician, so they fear for his life.
Yeah. So he takes Damien into the church, lays him down on the altar, and he's getting the knives out. And he's struggling with Damien. At some point, then Damien basically tries to trick him and is like, "No, Daddy, no, don't do this."
He goes, "Please, Daddy, no." And I counted how many lines this kid had in the entire movie. I wonder how much he got paid, because he said thank you at some point during the first act, and then now he's just saying, "Please, Daddy, no."
Yeah, Damien doesn't talk much.
So he doesn't.
And so that's enough of a hesitation for Mr. Thorne. Then
Right.
he raises the dagger over his head.
And of course.
And hesitates slightly. And here come the popo into the doors of the church, and they're like, "Put the dagger down."
Boom, boom.
And he doesn't. He goes to plunge the dagger into Damien. The police fire. They kill Mr. Thorne. So our protagonist is done.
Yep, that's it.
And
the Antichrist.
We flash forward to the funeral, and there is somebody holding Damien's hand, and
I love that part. He looks.
It's the implication.
He looks back at the camera.
Well, it's the implication that
he got away.
Well, he got adopted.
Oh yeah.
And he got adopted by Mr. Thorne's best friend, who is his old college roommate, the president.
The president.
And he is now the adopted son of the president of the United States, and he has basically won.
Of course.
He's gotten everything that belonged to the Thornes, as was prophesized, and one of the most famous endings in horror movie history, where he turns and just looks at the camera and has this kind of like evil little grin.
It's almost like a devious smirk.
Like he knew the whole time what was going on, and it happened, and he won.
Yeah.
So
it was great. It was good.
So in the end, evil wins. It's a movie that's not wrapped up in a tight little bow.
I love movies like that though, because I personally don't care for the perfect endings. I feel like sometimes like life just goes on, so it's not always a perfect ending.
Well, and it set itself up for a sequel, which there were, but it honestly could have ended just on that. And that could have been the last movie, and it would have been, again, the implication of, okay, at some point in this universe, the Antichrist won and took over.
Right, but I still think that the sequels, I like the sequels because of what's his name was Damien in the sequels.
Sam Neill.
Sam Neill, which
is
amazing.
And I love Sam Neill.
He's really great. So let's go on to scores. So we have three categories for scores.
So when we score or rate our movie, we're rating on a scale of 0 to 5, 0 being the worst, 5 being the best. 3 categories for an overall score, and our categories are plot, the acting / directing, and rewatchability. And so when you're watching a horror movie, the plot you have to suspend a lot of disbelief when you're watching a horror movie. So does the plot make sense within the framework of the movie?
And or are there any eminent holes in the plot? Like, are there some things that you're wondering, okay, no, that never resolved, or that didn't really make sense in the plot? So those are what we're looking at. We're looking for in that category.
So for plot, I gave this a 4 out of 5.
I did. I also did a 4 out of 5.
Yep, four out of 5 creepy birthmarks.
And I gave it 4 out of 5 daggers.
There were a couple of things that I thought could be plot holes, and they did actually address it.
Right. Yeah.
In the movie where they kind of wrapped it up, and so there really wasn't much that you could say was a gaping plot hole, and they never addressed it.
Right. I agree.
So the next category is acting and directing. I gave it 3 out of 5 creepy birthmarks because I think some of the acting was a little over the top, a little overly dramatic, but overall, a 3 out of 5 is better than average. It was good. There were some good performances. There were some performances that, again, I thought were a little over the top, but overall, it was a lot more good than bad.
Okay, so to me, the acting and directing, I give it a 5, 5 daggers, because I thought the acting felt very genuine. I felt like some of the reactions were spot on, and also the directing was really also it was good. I thought it was good. I'm not going into like I'm not a film major or anything like that. Shout out to my daughter who is, and but no, I don't think the acting or directing was deserving of any less, honestly.
All right, so the next category is rewatchability, and the way I score a movie on rewatchability is if it's a 0, it's this movie sucked, there's no way I'm going to watch it. Rewatchability to me means that I can watch this movie multiple times and pick up on things that I didn't pick up on in the first couple watches that make the movie more coherent. I'll use an example, like a movie like Hereditary. I could watch that 10 times and probably pick up something that I didn't pick up in the first 9 watches that is integral to the plot.
So what'd you give?
I gave this one a 3 out of 5 because it's very rewatchable because it's a fun movie, but they kind of address everything that's going on.
Yeah.
So you don't need to watch this movie multiple times to go, oh, I didn't pick up on that the first time.
And you know what? I agree. I originally gave it a 5. However, I do agree that when you watch it again and again, nothing really new comes out at you. It is what it is. It tells you exactly how it is. And
everything's resolved, but the movie doesn't hold your hand through the whole movie. Though
I agree. So I think that for that reason, I will give it a 3 out of 5 daggers.
So my overall score is a 10 out of 15, which a 10 out of 15 for me means this is a movie I really liked. I really enjoyed. It does have a couple little flaws to me, but it's the Omen. It's a classic horror movie. It's right up there with your 70s staples of horror, like The Exorcist and the Amityville Horror and stuff like that. Doesn't rely on a ton of practical effects, and I would recommend this to any horror newbie. This channel for me is something to try and get people into horror that aren't already horror veterans like we are. So it's a movie that is engaging enough that it keeps your attention. It's horror, it's thriller, it's got a little romance in it, it's got a little bit of everything for everybody. But I think for it was made in 1976, so it is a little dated. but that's to be expected.
Well, you know what I actually liked about the movie, and I didn't touch on this before, and it's the fact that nowadays movies, they want pretty, they want young, they want, all of that. They want people who dress nice and whatever the situation is in a movie. And in this movie, he looks a little bit too old for her, and she's gorgeous, but she's not your top model kind of actress. So I thought the characters were very much I don't know, like human.
Well, the casting was believable for the roles they were in. Gregory Peck was supposed to be a diplomat. He's a very distinguished,
and he was older than her.
You'd believe he was a politician. You could
definitely.
believe she was going to be the future first lady.
Right. So for me, I gave it a total score of 12 daggers out of 15. And that's mainly because I did give it a 5 out of 5 daggers in acting and directing. I thought this is one of my favorite classics, besides The Exorcist, the original Exorcist. But this is definitely one of my favorite classics. I think it is very timeless. It doesn't matter when you decide to watch this movie, it ages well, and that's why I liked it. Moving on, we have a little game.
Yeah, something we're going to do in this podcast. We're going to try and do a game or a segment that's pertinent to the movie we're reviewing. And the game we decided to play in honor of Damien Thorne was Creepy Kids in Horror Movies.
Creepy Kids in Horror Movies.
So we're going to have a little contest here, and Vanessa and I are going to start naming some creepy kids in horror movies, and the person who can name more wins the game. And if you're listening on YouTube, leave some comments about your favorite creepy kids in horror movies.
Yeah. Also, the criteria was, the rule were that we were not allowed to Google or IMDb or anything like that. We're not allowed to ask. You just have to come from the top of our heads. Movies with creepy kids, they have to be creepy, not just movies with kids. And we'll see. And if we have any movies that we both mentioned, then we don't get a point. So we only get points for...
Well, I think we should be the person who, if we have duplicates, the person that mentions it first gets the point.
No! No. I think whatever movies that are that we both mentioned, they don't count. We just have to count the ones that...
All right.
Oh, I don't know where my pen is.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
It's not that much math.
Well.
Okay, so who's going first?
You can go ahead.
Okay, so my first creepy kid in a horror movie is Gage Creed from Pet Sematary.
Oh, okay. So I have Pet Sematary.
Yeah, but I should get it because I mentioned it first.
No. So.
No.
Pet Sematary is a...
No, Gage
no
Creed
point.
afuera.
I have The Exorcist, Reagan.
Yeah, I had that too.
Okay.
So by your logic...
No points. I got...
Oh, no.
Okay,
it's
go ahead.
my turn now. Mine is very general. It's the kids. The creepy kids from Village of the Damned.
Oh, I have The Village of the Damned. Both. I thought about the 1960s and the 1990s.
This game sucks.
Okay. Brightburn, the anti-hero kid.
Okay, you get a point for that because I don't have that.
Yeah.
But I think I have one that you don't. I have Angela from Sleepaway Camp.
Was she creepy? I don't...
Yeah, she was super creepy.
Okay,
she was the killer in the movie.
Oh, okay. I don't remember. You get a point.
Yeah, I know I get a point.
Okay. So I have Insidious, the possessed brother.
Ooh, that's a good one. I didn't... You get it. You get a point for that.
Oh, yes. Okay, go ahead.
So I have Samara from The Ring.
Wait, do I have The Ring? Oh, I don't have The Ring. Good job. Okay.
So I get 2 points.
I have the new Ouija.
The new what?
The Ouija. Ouija board.
Ouija?
Yeah. It's the new one with the blonde girl.
Yeah,
Her
I
hair's-
guess she's not super creepy, but
she gets
okay.
possessed by that thing.
I'll give you that.
Thank you. Okay, go ahead.
So my last one then.
Last one.
Yeah, I have the ghost
Jeez.
boy from The Grudge.
Oh yeah, he was creepy. Here you go.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm gonna rack this up. I have.
She probably Googled this.
No.
That was the rule. We couldn't Google
We
it.
couldn't Google. Children of the Corn.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yep. Halloween. Michael Myers.
Michael Myers isn't a kid.
He's a kid in the first movie.
Yeah, he's not. His character isn't established as a kid, though. The main character is him as an adult.
Okay. The Shining. The twin girls are
the
creepy
twins.
as hell.
Or Danny.
Danny wasn't.
Danny's creepy, too.
No,
Yeah,
I don't
he's
think
creepy.
he was creepy.
He's a little kid that goes, rad rom. He's freaking
I don't
creepy.
think he was creepy.
Either way,
But-
you beat me already.
Okay,
so.
the poltergeist, the girl,
Oh, yeah.
Mhm,
Yep.
the kids from the orphanage,
Oh, okay.
the kids from Weapons. New movie, Weapons.
Yeah, were they creepy, though?
I thought so.
I guess. They weren't in the movie a lot.
Well, but they were creepy and they were
Yeah.
in the movie.
They were the main
The
focus
kid
of the movie.
from another new movie, Bring Her Back.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
creepy as hell.
Yeah.
And Terrifier 2.
You Googled this.
I did not.
Which kid was creepy in Terrifier 2?
Terrifier 2.
The little
yeah,
girl
the little
in
girl.
Terrifier 2.
Hell yeah. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, baby. I win this game.
Okay, Vanessa wins the first round. First episode.
Okay, so before we end the podcast, we had a little bit of video issues. So you might see some video footage on the YouTube, but you might not see it all.
The YouTube.
The YouTube.
So, yeah, our first podcast may be audio only. So if you're watching this on YouTube, you may not see us, but you will in the future. We'll get it straightened out. These are the pitfalls of a first-time podcast. We thank all you guys for listening, and I know we've thrown stuff out there. If you know anybody that likes horror movies and wants to listen to a brutally honest horror movie from people who aren't professional podcasters
We're
yet,
not professionals. We're just starting.
but we just want to share our passion for horror movies with you guys, then recommend us to your friends. If you're listening to this on Apple, give us a 5-star review. Even if you don't think it's 5 stars, give us 5 stars. Spotify and YouTube. Leave comments on YouTube, please, because
Subscribe and like and share.
we want to hear what you guys think. Subscribe to us, like it.
And really, we're not doing this for nothing else than
Tell all
we're
your
just
friends.
having fun. This is what we have been talking about something to do because we love watching horror movies. We love talking about it, and that's basically it. Yeah.
And if you're listening on YouTube, and you don't have a video, so we have a creepy cat. We have a creepy cat
It's a
that
decomposing
is a decomposing skeleton cat, and we want to come up with
Well,
a
we can
name for
send
our cat.
pictures.
And we'll post some pictures on Facebook, on Instagram.
We need a name.
want some names for our cat because I have a name for our cat that I think is awesome, but I won't say
have
it
2 different names, and he won't like my names for the cat.
because they're dumb.
So we just need your help naming our cat. This is our sidekick, if you will.
And please, in your comments, if you want to see a movie reviewed, we're going to put out a couple of podcasts initially to get some content out for you guys. But we will take your suggestions. If there's a horror movie that you feel passionate about, we are going to try and review it if you suggest it, even if it's something really obscure, especially if it's something really obscure.
Definitely. We love obscure movies. Yeah.
Because we've seen pretty much everything, so
lot.
we're gonna review it, and we love you guys. Thank you for listening.
Thank you.
And we are the Couch of the Dead, and we are out.